to Silly Kids Forever. Ta-da! So, I'm going to be making little Big Planet levels today, and all my progress got deleted, but that's actually a good thing, since now I have more space for new ideas and new thoughts. I mean, sad in the case that I've lost everything, but happy in the case that I can make new things. Oh, the remote? So, you see, I was gonna go searching for the remote, and in the process I found 2 pairs of shoes from, like, 1970 or something, and I found this water bottle that's, like, there's no water in it anymore, because it's, like, melted or something. So, yeah, that's that. So, anyways, if you want to make a level in Little Big Planet, unless you want to do, like, some other thing, and you have backgrounds in mind, or you don't want to waste your space on making a background, then you can choose all these other backgrounds here. And if you got the Little Big Planet Journey home stuff, don't use the backgrounds. They're really low quality and aren't as good as the original background. Yeah, see, for example, here, I'm waiting for it to load, and here's a city. See, all they did was just take the original and make it worse, because, like, some of the stuff is, like, missing on certain sides somewhere. I don't remember where it is, but it's, like, broken. Oh. Yeah, see, you're not, in the original, you're not supposed to see this, but since they basically just took the original thing and, like, looped it, you have a little bit of a glitch there, and the same thing happens with the, mangled background. It's one of these cars is broken with the textures. So, like I showed you last time, some of the textures are missing for some reason. And this background is generally really good. But, yeah, other than that car, it's a decent background, I guess. I recommend using the blank background. And if you find one of those glitch levels that give you this infinite blank background, if you want more space, you can use this, but I recommend using the normal one. So, yeah. Oh, and another problem you might have with the normal background is if you want to lose track of where everything you're making is, and just generally have a hard time, like, please save this for last, but you make the background go, like, really far in front of you and then, like, go really high up so that you can't see the background at all. And then it won't get in the way of whatever you're making here. In this example, I'm making a racetrack because recently I've been finding cars pretty interesting. And if you want extra materials, DLC can really help you. Because, for example, the Back to the Future DLC, if you're lazy, there's a DeLorean time machines decoration that you can use, and it can help with making levels, I guess. There's also some other decorations that will be very useful and, like, other things. And if you're trying to make Sackbot characters, first of all, you know, they're easy to make. Sometimes they aren't. But I recommend getting like a whole bunch of Doctor Who stuff. Like, for example, Amy Pond is like Clara Oswald here. Yeah, Clara Oswald and other Doctor Who characters like Devros and there's Darlic and other things. I recommend getting those specifically because characters like Amy Pond and other characters there have special hair and like other different types of. Okay, the clothing is not as good, but the hair, if you're making like your own characters, you're gonna need DLC hair because the normal hair that you get is really just not good. And if you're making a girl character, I'm trying to find which one I usually use the most. But I usually use a certain one here, right here. Amy Pond's hair is really good for if you're making like a girl character. So, yeah. And now let's get on to the less decorative and more building side. So as you can see here, I have a road for the cars. And if you want to know what metal's perfect for like placing stickers on it for like, special colors and stuff, I recommend the taxi metal. And if you don't like the bevel because it like messes around with what you're building that's like metallic or something, like for example I'm building a car, there is this thing in the material tweaker, see it, the material tweaker that turns bevels off, which leaves you with this. This will be very useful if you don't like them, but personally, I played Little Big Planet 1, like the original game, and yeah, they were very annoying. Oh yeah, and the rewind feature is like very useful too. So yeah, and I forgot to mention this, but you see, I'm using the corner editor. I don't. I used to build things. Here, I'll show you how I used to build things. This is how I used to build a car. But with the corner editor, it allows you to like have more precision with what you're trying to do, and gives you more variety. Like what I mean by that is like it allows you to. Um, I don't really know how to explain it, but if you use it, then it can come in handy with like giving the cars or whatever you're making more detail, since it's like easier to use or something. Alright. That car looks pretty nice. Alright, so here's my car so far, and as you can see, I'll take the bevel removal thing, and it actually looks a lot better. So earlier, I suggested taxi metal for like coloring things, because this allows you to still have the shine, and like it allows it to still be shiny. But if you want it to just like literally be, just to put stickers on, I don't recommend any other metal than specifically Like Little Big Planet 1 has these built into the game specifically for you to use them, so that, like this, specifically for you to use them like this. You see, the rusty metal isn't shiny and the taxi metal is. That's intentional, I'm sure of it. There's no way that isn't intentional. Now, you're expected to have these two materials, and if you somehow don't have this, there's the Sci-Fi Pack DLC gives you another version of it, which basically acts the exact same thing, but it just looks like moldy bread or something. And there's so much materials to choose from, but those two specifically are like there in the game. Cause, oh yeah, and this one too, I guess. Except this one's like for more shiny effect. The taxi metal is like less shiny, I guess. Or no, it's harder to see because the reflection is different. But yeah, this is meant to be used more decorative. The taxi metal is different. And this, I'm not even sure. So let's just stick to the taxi metal, and you know, that's all we really need right now. Another really important thing when like making cars like this or something is the windows, because you can't just have a car without windows. That would be weird. Oh, windows on real cars are very strange to replicate in like games like this. So if you want like realistic windows, you might have to use a little references if you're not that familiar with cars. It's not that bad if you know what you're doing. And whoops. So just, and the windows are always lowered down, so I'm gonna have to like do this to use the windows. Actually, another thing I really love doing when I don't have any ideas for levels to make, I just love, just make these glass first. I love going around in the backgrounds with like the new feature and like being able to just fly around in the background and see all the details that you don't get to see when you don't have all these creative details and stuff. It adds, it adds like a new type of enjoyment to the game, since you get to explore the places that like you didn't get to explore earlier. So yeah, if you find yourself being like really bored, that is pretty fun to do. I'm pretty sure like these types of cars like, however, I don't really have much more to talk about, so you can just watch me build here. I'm just gonna like mess around with these things and make sure everything's, you know, going according to plan with my creation. And if you want nice cars to like, if you want good cars to like base these off of, like maybe racing cars as example, here's some nice looking racing cars as I recommend. Mitsubishi for like normal racing cars, and If you're looking for like more different racing cars, the Cobra is my personal favorite, and it's really just different. Okay, so here we have our racing car. I'm not very proud of it, but it'll do the job. Oh, and another thing, I don't recommend doing this a lot because it kind of becomes addicting, but I really like to turn on and off the option to make it seem like you're in play mode. So, like, if you want to know what something looks like before you just go and test it out, you can just turn this on and off, and, like, the things that are visible in play mode will not appear. So, don't abuse it, because it becomes very addicting to just turn that on and off, and on and off. Alright. One really big problem with this is the wheels. Like, wheels are weird. And they certainly feel weird too. Um, with real cars, yeah, wheels are like very strange. So I'm gonna just make this little wheel archway thing that you usually see in cars, and trying to like replicate it or something. It's usually some sort of plastic or something, and this tire tread. I mean, it's good for making wheels, but like, usually you have a whole bunch of options for just like pre-made 3D modeled, and you know, the whole bunch of wheels is down here. Most of them aren't that good for, but if you're like looking for a decent wheel and you have the Metal Gear Solid DLC, then this striker, what's it called? Striker wheel will look really good, but at small sizes, there's a little glitch that happens specifically with Little Big Planet 1 stuff. I'm guessing there is some sort of thing to do with the fabric, and they want it to like fly around and stuff. But when it gets really small, it's not a physical object, and so it's trying to stay at a certain size to, you know, look good, and ends up being like really weird. It also happens with the Little Big Planet 1 tree. I can't seem to find it, and I probably passed by it a whole bunch of times. But the same thing happens with that tree. So as you can see, at the size of this wheel, it's looking pretty normal, and it should be. So, yeah. I'll go get this tire tread for the plastic bumper part thing here, and this should be good enough to like, yeah, there we go. And I'm just gonna destroy that. Oh dear. How big is this? Gosh. Just make that a bit bigger, and it's a great size. Just add this in like where you want them to be. And do that. First, take this and put it on the back, except so that you aren't wasting space, remove the thing, because no one's going to see the bevel unless they're like really looking hard. And then you get this. It works perfectly. Actually, not if they might see the bevel. And your wheels will fit in, like, they'll fit in well. But you have to make sure that they can, work. See if it doesn't work. It needs to be, let's see here. It needs to be, like, shorter? No, it needs to be taller. If it's more tall, the wheels can fit on. And there we go. Oh yeah, and try your best, like, if things aren't fitting together properly or anything, try your best not to just, if it's like stuck against a wall and things aren't fitting together and they're falling apart, use this glue and try your best not to just use the automatic glue, because if you use the normal glue, then it'll be a lot easier and you won't get it stuck to the wall. So I think these wheels are going to work pretty well. Alright, let's see how our car... Oh dear. Does that sometimes. Let's see how our car is doing. Man, look at that speed. Alright, so it appears our car is pretty good, but it only has 2 wheels. That's not normal for a car. Usually they have more than 2 wheels. So what if I did my best to convince you that this car here is actually big? So either you could stick with the 2-wheel design, or you can try and make it more realistic like I'm about to do, and probably fail at it, but that's fine, because practice makes perfect. Don't be sad if your plan to make your car more realistic fails, because when you're playing games like this where you program and try and be smart, failing is the key to success in these games. If you didn't fail, then you wouldn't know where the good part is. Oh yeah, gotta have 4 wheels. Oh my gosh. Looks like it's all fixed up. Let's make sure it works. Alright, it looks like it does. Ah! No, not quite yet. I'm just gonna delete this road. I don't really need it right now. Alright, let's see. Wow, this car goes really fast. So it looks like our car is doing pretty good. See, the problem with that is cars. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is, but cars should have headlights, and this one should also have, a car headlight. Because it's weird when they don't, because, like, cause they just need headlights. Oh yeah, and the car grill, that's the hardest part about making these, is it's the grill. Okay, let's see. There you go. So, what you want to do for the grill is, usually car grills that I see, they have this weird plastic thing that they have this weird black plastic wireframe thing, and oh yeah, just gonna mention this UV tool. So, and it's like this weird. I don't know how to explain it, but you would know if you saw one. It's like this wire thing, or rack, or grill. Yeah, that's why it's called a grill, because it looks like a grill, you know? And it's not very easy to replicate those, I'm sure. Because look how much I'm struggling. What is this? Oh. A second. I think there might be a way to... So, don't give up. Alright? I think I can find... Another big problem with playing this game and, having trouble is, like, the fact that whenever you try and, like, I don't know, let's just stick with this, or, oh, I have an idea. So, this material here, maybe from the sci-fi patch, maybe I can probably get it down to a size that looks like a grill. I can't, so, stand by real quick. This is gonna take a while. La 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 la. Maybe this works. Yeah, kind of. Okay, so we got our grill here, and grills aren't usually they're usually indented a little bit and have like metal on the outside to show you like what kind of car it is, Classic car here. Oh my gosh. So maybe this chrome thing from Little Big Planet 2 might work. Or maybe the worn chrome from Little Big Planet 3. Nah, the Little Big Planet 2 chrome works more. And usually it's plastic, but no, usually it's plastic. Actually, sometimes it's plastic. You don't need to know that it's plastic. No one does. Forget what I just said about it being plastic. It's real. I promise. yeah, so just add these here. Maybe a third one up here. Doesn't look good, ignore it. And there you go, we got the car grill. Now we need the headlights and the backlights. And a back window, because I somehow forgot that. There's actually, you don't have to use the basic glass like I do. I just really like using the basic glass since it's like, you know, the basic glass. But the basic glass, it's an interesting item. If you want frosted glass, basic glass is your deal if you don't have the Back to the Future pack. And even then, it's better with the basic glass. If you want more clear glass, you should be able to get the smooth glass from Little Big Planet 2, which comes in blue and green. And I could have swore there was a red one too, but it's probably just my imagination. Because when I was younger, I'm pretty sure when I was younger, I thought the smooth glass was the red tinted smooth glass. And I got super angry because I didn't know. I thought that there was a normal clear one. Little Big Planet creators, people who made this game, I'm sad because there's only red and there's no other color. I like the frosted glass, the basic glass here, because you don't see the car that much, and when you don't see the car, you know, it's great because you don't have to model the inside of the car to appease the Little Big Planet players who criticize your every move. I'm joking, they don't. But if you want to be more, like, look more good, but you don't want to do that much modeling and stuff, try to do frosted glass on the cars, because it just makes more sense to do that and then not model anything inside. Alright, now let's do the headlights. So there's many different types of headlights, and if you have the Back to the Future pack, it just gives you straight up headlights, or as it calls, headlamps. Square ones would be more useful on the back since they're usually square shaped. So if you want to put those in the back here and turn them red, then it will look pretty nice, like this. See? Looks exactly like headlamps, I believe. I don't know what to do for the front headlights. I haven't tested this out yet. Just gonna go get water real quick. I don't know what to do for front headlamps. I mean, you could do the... Because the whole reason why I made this car longer is to make it more realistic, because I'm really tired of like those cars that people... Here, I'll give you an example that the creators of the game made. And I get that there wasn't a lot of space in the first game, but in the third game, people still do this, and I did it too, and like just recently I realized why it's not a good idea. Where's a really good example of it? This one's alright. Here. This is the car that you get to customize in Little Big Planet 1. This is the car that you customize in Little Big Planet 1. It's nice and actually really good. Like, for Little Big Planet 1 and 2 standards, this is the best you'll ever get. But it's a Cyclops. It's a monstrosity to my sanity, and it hurts my eyes. It's not bad by any means. It's actually the best one, but it looks creepy when you look at it from the front. So in Little Big Planet 3, you have a lot more space. Specifically, you have 16 layers of space that you can use, and like it's all yours to use. No one is renting out that space back there unless you let them. You have all the space to use. So make your cars at least 2 layers wide so that they're more realistic and such. And actually, I just had a really interesting brain fart. I say that because it's a really dumb idea. But what if I took this, where is the, worn down chrome? Yeah, worn chrome. If I take this and, like, make it a really dark color, oh, it doesn't work like that. Well, anyways, if you take it and make it a dark color, which also doesn't look very nice, just make it this color, and, maybe it works with something else, but if there's a reflective material that's, like, non-see-through, for example, this neon thing here, if you, like, change the color from white to black, or it's just really shiny in some sort of way, and it's useful to make some strange-looking shiny stuff, I guess. I don't really have a good example here, but if you don't want to model the inside of the car, I don't know, make it shiny. Oh, yeah, here, I got one. Never mind. So, yeah, if you want to do that, you can do that. I'm not going to do it, because I like the look of the basic glass. You know what? A lot of the basic materials here, they're completely overlooked. Everyone, even I did this at one point, and I usually do it just to look good, but all the wood down here, some of it just completely sucks. You don't get this laminated desk, vanished wood. This one is tree bark, but it looks more like someone had a heart attack while trying to design it and accidentally pushed it to the left and right. I hope he's okay if he did. A lot of the wood in here is good for, like, other things, but if you want, like, a natural looking wood, the basic wood isn't your best bet, but it's good enough that if you don't have any other types of wood, this one will certainly help you a lot. The basic stone and basic metal should be swapped places, or I can't really tell the difference because this one looks more like stone, and then this one looks just like stone, and none of them look like metal. Except, come to think of it, this is probably just raw metal, raw iron or something that hadn't been, like, made into actual iron yet. Interesting. So, yeah, can't really complain about that. The basic sponge is interesting. So, let's continue talking about the headlamps. There's many different types of headlamps you can do. I'm not going to destroy my headlamps, because, well, as I mentioned with the layers, just 2 blocks apart, and, yeah. So, maybe I should choose some nice looking, interesting looking headlamps. These could do well, but they don't. Or maybe actually, this is a very useful thing if you're, like, trying to, you know, if you're trying to do things and like things. How do I explain this? If you are having trouble because things just they don't fit. Like here, watch this. If I put this in here normally, it does that, and that's weird looking. But if I use this ghost thing, it works. It's also a very easy way to escape the horror that is doors. Like, Little Big Planet is literally a horror game when it comes to making doors. I'm not kidding. So, they're just really hard to make. Maybe, like, doors on top-downs are easy to make, like, top-down games, like RPGs and stuff. But, like, doors on the side-scroll type are just terrifying. Like, literally the manifestation of pure evil. Obviously, I'm over-exaggerating, but it certainly feels like it when you don't know what to do. So, this headlamp looks like it could work, but not really. So, let's look at the other headlights, whatever you call them, that we have here. Oh, if you want to make police sirens or some sort of siren, here, I'll just show you guys. It's really simple. Once I figured out what the wall light does, this was the first thing I did, and it was so hilariously easy to do. I'm just gonna find, where is it? And once you put that motor on, and then take the headlamp, adjust its size, make it visible, because, I don't know, reasons, and make it police siren colors to make people more alarmed, because, we're all scared of the police siren, I guess. Make it pitch black outside, and if you make it really fast, it looks even better. So, yeah. What's that noise? Is it the wheels again? Don't tell me it's the wheels again. Oh, wait, it's stuck to the ground. There you go. So, actually, this sound is weird. It's usually used for other things. If you don't like the noise, you can just ignore it. But you can also make it, like, not happen, too. Are you tired of weird noises? Now they don't exist. That'd be a great advert. So yeah, you can just make these noises not exist, and then they won't, and then your day is saved. Whoa, look, that goes even faster now that I fix it. I'm just gonna make a door too. Where's the taxi metal? Okay, I guess that's like, that forever. We'll just ignore it. Oh, great. Move it to the floor again. Alright, back to headlights. So, let's see what kind of headlights we have to work with, or just lights in general we have to work with. Actually, these spotlight things from Little Big Planet 2 always confuse me. Like, I never got anything from the Avalon part of the game where you go to, like, Avalon's place or whatever. You become Avalon's roommate. I never got that part of the game because it was, like, all futuristic and nothing there made sense to me because it wasn't in real life. Except for the background. That was the only thing that made, like, the smallest amount of sense. Everything else just went straight over my head. And yeah, it probably did exist in real life, but, the only thing I saw was that one car outside my window and the park I went to. So, actually this looks like a good light, but it's, like, really big. And it's also for something else. Makes your creature change direction. Okay, that would be useful in Little Big Planet 1. Here you got, actually, there's a simple critters, I think that says. That sounds like a app, critters. I know it's, like, supposed to mean something else. But when I say it like that, it kind of sounds more like an applesauce brand. This is just Mr. Potato Head for Little Big Planet 1. Don't ask why. They just made it Mr. Potato Head for Little Big Planet 1. Like, actually, I'm pretty sure, no, there isn't, I don't think there's a potato in this game, but there's, like, other vegetables and fruits. And I don't call potato a vegetable, or a fruit. I don't, huh? Okay, well, yeah, basically just the original version of Mr. Potato Head. You get an apple, I guess, and then stick parts into it, and then give it a brain, and voila, it's alive now. That's alright, back to headlights. So, let's see here. The Spinal Gear Searchlight is pretty good, maybe. Hey, actually, this does look pretty good. Hold on. Yeah. Alright, what else do we have here? Man, it seems like I've basically run out of options. I have to choose one or the other. Alright, I'll just go with this spotlight thing. I'll make it so that you, like, can't see it or anything. But I'll still make it glow, just because. Like, if I didn't make it glow, people would be asking why there's no headlights. They're only supposed to glow when it's, like, dark, though, so I don't see the problem. has the really bad headlights, semi-decent backlights, and just gonna make a trunk real quick. Instead of making a trunk, I accidentally split reality in half. But that's okay, you can do that sometimes. Especially in Little Big Planet, splitting reality in half is extremely common when you're making, like, strange contraptions and stuff. Like, once I had this idea for a thing where this gun, it shoots out these sackbots which are on fire, and the sackbots, like, rise up into more sackbots, and it, like, turns into this, like, fire volcano thing. And in my head it looked really cool, so I made it, and guess what it does? It crashes the game. That was a really long time ago. I don't think I have it anymore. Yeah, it's really annoying when it doesn't let you do things. I don't know why it doesn't let you do things. Probably because it's glued to something. Nah. Not why. I guess I'll just have to deal with it for now and maybe figure out a solution later. But here's the car so far. Now you may be noticing a problem with the car. What's the problem, you may ask? It's the fact that there's no driver. It's just driving on its own. Now, thankfully the future will make this problem, not a problem, and then it'll just, like, be remote control or something. This car drives on its own, but you're supposed to have someone driving the car. Obviously, that's definitely how cars work. So I'm just gonna, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. Okay, finally, it's just one thing now. Here is my car. You may notice some problems with it, but that doesn't matter. Ignore them. Please ignore them. It works! Alright. So we can have a driver now? The problem with the driver is, okay, you'll see in a bit, but, like, I don't think it matters, honestly. Oh, what? Because drivers are cool. So let's just have a little seat for him to sit on, because seats are seats, yeah. For him to sit on. Well, driver part of the car. Oh, hey, no, it works pretty well, unfortunately. Oh, I guess that's how driving works. Man, cars certainly got weirder nowadays. Alright. So, my helmet is, like, sticking through there. That's not normal. Maybe I should, like, move it back, a little bit. Just, like, a small bit. Hey, this actually works pretty well. I wonder how well this car crashes. Okay, a major problem I have with cars like this is they don't drive backwards. You can try and make them drive backwards, but they just don't. That's a huge issue. They don't drive backwards. How do I fix this? I've had this problem for so long and I've never figured out how to fix it. Oh, I have an idea. What if the wheels in the back drive backwards and the wheels in the front don't drive backwards? So, oh, whoops. So this button controls the wheels in the front, makes it drive forwards. This one makes it drive backwards. Alright, so this will work soon enough. And I'm hoping it works. Even though the whole extra, four-wheel drive thing is really good for, like, driving faster, will it really be worth it in the end? Yeah, it's not working. Alright. Should work. Oh, great. Let's hope that this works. Oh, so it didn't even go on. Oh, what's the problem this time? What? That's not supposed to happen. Alright, so appears I have an issue. So first thing I do is delete the back wheels. And these parts too, since they're definitely not working. And I'll pick up this car, duplicate these wheels, so that problems don't happen. Alright, so I'm hoping this works. Yeah, but I don't understand. Maybe if it's a couple inches maybe if it's a couple inches lower, it will work. Well, I'm gonna have to. Let's whip this one. Alright. Okay, what? Why is this not working? Alright, let's try now. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is.